You're the best version of yourself. Like there's nobody that can do you like you. So be you.
It's super evident why, people are growing around you and you have a team that's excited and
Be excited about it because I can be Mark too. Not Mark, but I'm gonna be a version of Mark,
no
but
doubt.
through Bernard.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country.
All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Training Day podcast. We are in store for some heat today. I got my man Bernard Borges, Senior Vice President of FFL Avengers. And I love the name Avengers, Bernard. But when you made that name, I didn't realize you actually had an acronym for it. So I want to cover that. But first off, how you doing, my brother?
I'm excellent. How are you feeling, birthday boy?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited, fired up, and I'm excited to have you on, brother. So you
Thank
guys,
you for having me.
absolutely, you guys are crushing it. But I do want to talk about Avengers. What was your thought process in that name, and what is the acronym for Avengers?
Excellent question. The thought process was that I am intentional and selective on who I bring into the organization, just like in Avengers or Super Friends or any other type. I was big into Marvel back in the day, so I, identified with the Hulk. My nickname is the Hulk, because I used to work out a lot, like crazy, and doing stuff. So the Hulk was like my persona, and so obviously the Hulk is part of the Avengers, and so but the Hulk isn't alone. The Avengers is more than just the Hulk. It's a lot
Right.
more talent and a lot more powers that go with that. And I wanted to be selective in the group that I went with. And so that's where the idea of Avengers actually came through Bobby, my operations manager, kind of thought that I was going to say Hulk and team or something. And she's like, no, just say the Avengers. I'm like, duh, like in plain sight. But then I went further with it because I wanted to not be a Marvel thing. I wanted to be a Bernard thing. And so with the business, the idea of Avengers stands for A, accountability, number one. V, virtuous, meaning be, charitable and upright and clean and above reproach, so to speak. E is for elite, meaning I want to get the best out of everyone.
Love it.
I don't ask for anything but the best of each person. I'm going to give you the best of me, and I want you to give me the best of you, whatever that is, whatever level that is. I don't care. Elite. N is for non-negotiable. That means you have to write a contract to yourself, Mark, and you have to adhere to that contract by any means necessary. It's non-negotiable. Whatever it is, it's your word. So you put what you want that you're going to make non-negotiable, period. And so I'm going to just ask you to be accountable to your own contract. You can't be mad at me for making you accountable to your own words. So that's what the N stands for. G is for generational. We are a traditional people. We do things in this country, especially based on tradition. Don't even have any context or basis for what we do it for, which means we're unintentional. Well, in this case, being generational, you're the opposite of that. You're totally intentional. You're totally ready to break generational curses. You're totally ready to break through financial, barriers and sound, ceilings that have been set forth through tradition, and to turn the I can'ts or the can'ts into can'ts. And so that's what the G stands for. The other E stands for education. In other words, if you're either growing or dying in this business. If you're not educating yourself and continuously educating, you're dying. If you're educating yourself, you're growing, and that's obviously the direction we want you to go. R is for responsibility. We're adults here. Be adult, be responsible. You make a mistake, own it, pivot, move on.
Yes, sir.
Let's not make this a big deal and not, carry out and dwell on it. We're all big boys here and big girls. Let's just take care of their business and learn from the mistake and own it, embrace it, move on. S is for social media. You can't be a secret agent in this business. We have, powers, and we have ability to do things that no one else in this country can do. We're like in a 1% bracket, and everybody needs to know about it. Be proud of who you are, and what you're doing, protecting families and saving agents. That needs to be broadcasted everywhere, anywhere, social media wise. So that's what Avengers stands for.
Dude, that's fantastic, man. That's so well thought out. so detailed.
Thank you.
And again, it shows up in who you are as a human being. You know, from the day I met you to now and into the future, you're just constantly showing up, constantly delivering, constantly accountable, constantly trying to win, constantly finding a way. And I think that's where I want to kind of take our time, Bernard, is, you know, what I realize in this business, the more and more I do this, and you talk about accountability, right? People sometimes are looking for reasons for something not to be working, for a business like this not to be working, why the people don't pick up the phone, why the clients aren't home, why the clients hung up the phone, and they're looking for a reason. But when we talk about accountable, one of the first things that jumped off the page from you to me was your accountability level and how excited you are to hold other people accountable. So can you talk a little bit about just accountability in and of itself and how you're infusing that into your agency?
Thank you. Accountability, fortunately, Avengers starts with A because everything starts with accountability. You're not going to grow. You're not going to succeed in life. Forget FFL, forget this platform, but just in life in general, if you're not accountable, if you don't, take ownership of who you are, what you are, and what you, are attempting to do in anything. And so with us, I'm very demonstrative in the accountability area because that is what is going to separate winners from losers. Winners are nothing but folks who have lost and keep getting up, falling down and keep dusting themselves off and keep getting up. Whereas a loser just, goes through the same process, but stays down. They don't get back up. And so bottom line is accountability is, or how I view it is basically whatever it takes to get the job done. Your job is to do the job. It's not to give me excuses why you can't do it, not to tell me that this happened or the dog ate my homework. No, it's okay. Deal with whatever obstacle and fix it. Like we're professional fixers. Like that's problem solvers. We're supposed to problem solve. And it's okay if you need to leverage me. I'm always here, Mark, to be leveraged upon, or my managers or whoever. But the bottom line is your job, non-negotiable, to fix whatever is ailing you. You got leads that aren't working for you. You got 39 other vendors to go to. Don't tell me about the ones that aren't working. Find the ones that are. If you say leads aren't working for you, period, get your butt on social media and create your own leads. You know what you can do? Create content and create the leads that you want. Like as in make a video and then pay the particular platform to broadcast it to the target audience that you want and make that your lead source. If you don't like the lead, like I pet peeve. Don't tell me what you don't like. Tell me what you want and go get it. Amen. If it's not already out there, create it. Like that's where I'm at with accountability. So in other words, make what you need happen or need to happen by either creating it or going out and finding it. We're in the information age. You can find pretty much anything you're looking for. And if you can't find it, create it. That's really my deal with accountability. And that's what I do.
And that's incredible. The words you're using to describe this, and the word I just started with, and I heard you say it again, is finding a way. Like it's your job to find a way. How do you, first off, when you think about finding a way for Bernard, hey, Bernard, we're getting in the life insurance industry. There's millions and millions of clients. There's, all types of people that are looking to get in this industry, building a business. There's an opportunity here for you to grow. Are you interested?
Yes.
You're interested. Okay, great. Now, from that word yes to your destiny, there's all these obstacles in between there and walls that you have to climb and jump or run through and, fiery pits and walking on a tightrope to get to the other side or you fall into the lava. Like, talk to me, Bernard, or talk to the people. about the mindset and the definition of actually finding a way to win.
Love your passion, man. And you know why you are where you are? Because you remained you through the whole process. Yes, you've obviously evolved, but at the core of it, Mark Mead walked that tightrope, went through that fire. He believed enough in who he is and what he is, and he continued to build momentum with that belief in order to get past those obstacles or to navigate those. Sometimes not even getting past the obstacles. It's embracing them. It's about embracing them. Stop looking at it as an obstacle and look at it as part of your duty, your destiny that you just spoke of. So first thing I would say to the individual is make sure you stay inside yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to, there's so many talented people here, Mark, that you can lose yourself trying to be everybody else but
Facts.
you. You're the best version of yourself. Like there's nobody that can do you like you. So be you. We hired you, especially in my organization, because I saw something in you. So first of all, believe in yourself the way I believe in you, or I wouldn't have brought you in. That's number one. And then two, evolve, but always remain who you are. The constant is you. And all these things you spoke of, it was you that went through them. It was you that experienced them. It was you that ultimately overcame them. Or as I said, embraced them and made it a part of you and absorbed it. You know, we worried about always, getting around and over and under obstacles. Sometimes you got to absorb them bad boys.
Yeah.
And just make it part of you. And then it's no longer an obstacle. It's just part of what you are, what you're doing. So that's, to get around or to deal with all these different things to win. First of all, be yourself. Make sure you stay, connected to you and continue to self-develop. When I say evolve, I mean self-develop, learn yourself, learn your weaknesses, learn what parts you need to do, your strengths, and stay in your strength lane and either work on your weaknesses or partner. And that's the key, Mark, partnering with the right people who build you or fill the gaps that you have. So if you have a weakness in area A, make sure you either work on filling it up or find somebody who's really strong in that area. And that way you can stay in your strength lane. I believe this business has been made overcomplicated year after year, decade after decade, because people overcomplicate the simple. This is not a hard business. It's a very simple but mundane and repetitive business.
Yes, sir.
And we want to try to overcomplicate it, I guess, to compensate for that. And so therefore we end up mucking up something that really isn't that hard to figure out. And sometimes you just got to wipe the slate clean, get a clean canvas again, and start painting that picture, but just simplify some of the steps that you're doing and stay in the strength lanes that you have. And as I said, partner with the right people or, work on those things through self-development. And there's plenty of that out here to be able to help fill that void that you have that's causing you maybe to not move as fast as you want. But my growth is definitely predicated on partnerships.
I love it.
Definitely.
Man. I love it. And again, it just jumps off the page for you, and it's just it's something that I was attracted to day one with you, and I appreciate you for being you. Let's talk about.
Thank you.
You got it, my man. Let's talk about the Avengers. Let's talk about your growth. Let's talk about some of the things you're implementing into your business that's allowing you all to see the success you're seeing. Just hit senior vice president, first time, on your way to EVP and beyond. I'd love to hear from you on some of the things that are happening with the Avengers.
Thank you for that. Buy-in is really the thing that jumps off my mind when you ask that question. This thing is about buy-in. I have a very different management style, Mark, in that I'm very, again, accountable, oriented. Like if I have to micromanage, we're done. Like I can't babysit. Like I have my children. I'm an empty nester now. I'm not ready to take on more children. I that's over with. You can give grandchildren back, so I don't want any grands either. So the point is that you have to, decide that you want to be an adult. You have to decide you want to be a professional to be an Avenger. There's a profile, and I think Dominic Rogers talked about this too. And although I'm nowhere near his status, I'm there mentally in that, there's a profile. Either you fit in the profile, or you don't. So recruiting has gotten easier, in the last I've only been here 6 months, 7 months now.
Mm-hmm.
So recruiting has gotten easier because now I know what I'm looking for. I know the mold. Mm-hmm. And so either you fit in it or you don't. And it's okay. You're not a bad person if you don't. You're just not a fit for here. There's plenty of other organizations to go to within FFL. So that's where I'm at with it. So the mold is already there because people talk about wanting to win big, Mark, but they don't. They don't. Their actions say otherwise. Their mindset is not even close to being there, and they don't want to be coached because, remember, we're independent. But see, the best leaders are the best followers and the most coachable. And they're willing to take on and take in more so that they can take on more. But too often they want to just take on everything without taking anything in because I'm independent. I left such and such to come here to be independent, to be a broker. You got it, bro. Just do it somewhere else because that's not going to work here because you don't know everything. That's why you're looking for a job. Just like I didn't know everything. That's why I was looking for a new job. I had one, but I was looking for something better.
Right.
So I said, I'll go to this Mark Mead guy. I'll go to this Brian Mendenhall guy, and I'll go to this Mark Tarolia guy, and I'll learn from these gentlemen who are doing it better than me. And I'm hitting my head against the wall. And I said, you know what? I'm better than this, but not on this platform. Let me go find another platform and find the right people with the right leadership, with the right energy that will make my
cooking with grits, brother.
Hey, man, that's what it's about. And so now I saw a blueprint, and I said the Avengers are going to be the same way. You got to be coachable. You got to be humble. You mentioned the word grateful when we spoke a couple times ago on the other podcast, and that's what I am. I'm still grateful. Not satisfied, but I'm definitely grateful, and I'm definitely still coachable, and I'm definitely still moldable. I'm not hardened clay. I'm soft. I'm malleable. You can still maneuver me, even at this moment. And my growth is because of you guys, whether indirect or direct leadership. Because inspiration is a huge driving force within me, and it should be within the people who I bring in. We should be inspired by the success of others, not hating on it, not jealous of it, not envious of it. Be excited about it because I can be Mark too. Not Mark, but I'm going to be a version of Mark, but through Bernard.
Amen.
And same with Brian and same with Coach. So the point is that the success in Avengers has to do with buy into that mentality. It has to do with hard work. Omar Mitchell is a poster child for hard work. Mm-hmm. And I speak about him a lot in the Avengers. And I say, that's what it's about. Leading from the front, working hard. Every day means every day, like he says, and getting at it and reminding them, what I do. I don't micromanage, but I do constantly remind them of the very principles that we work by and live by. And so I think that buy-in is also important where you're staying, you got to stay engaged. They have to stay engaged. The other thing, Mark, is we talk every day. A wise man from another agency told me his success came from touching his agents every day. He said, if you don't talk to your agent, somebody else will. Mm-hmm. I was like, whoa. And so that stuck with me. So now that I have the opportunity, I make sure I touch them every day. We talk every day. So what do we talk about? We talk about mindset. We talk about life. We talk about a lot of things outside of insurance because I'm molding people. Building a business is about building people, not numbers. Numbers are the result of what you've done in building the people. And so I'm about building people up, and the numbers will come with that. Whereas if you're just numbers driven, people don't feel like you're really into them. You're just into their numbers. So right. I never wanted to feel like that, and I have in a lot of places. So I wanted to make sure that when they come here, they know that they're a person. I know their family. I know their hot buttons. I know what they like. I know all about them and what they need from a personal standpoint. And that'll build them up to give them the confidence and the ability and the trust. A coach says trust builds speed. The faster you trust somebody, the faster they'll grow in you and on you because now they believe in you and what it is that you say. Now you don't got to explain everything that you say. You just say, hey, I need you to do this, and they're there. One thing about the Avengers that I'm proud of, Mark, most proud of, is that wherever I ask them to be, they're there. And I mean, even the ones from out of state. We went to a Les Brown event in Miami this past weekend. We had 15 people there.
Nice.
And several of them were from out of state. Like anywhere, if you ask me to be on the Zoom today and say, I need the Avengers over there, there's going to be 30 or 40 of us there. We only got 43 writers.
Hey, man.
So that's who I consider Avengers. So 43, probably 35 to 40, I'm gonna be there. And the other ones will give me a reason why they couldn't, like an actual reason why they couldn't, out of respect. And so
That's
what we
strong.
have here is a respect for each other and the organization as a whole, because we all see where we're going. It's not about Bernard, it's about where we are going as a unit. And so we do things in unison. And so I'm really proud of that aspect. I see that as a very big strength for us. And so that's why we're growing, because we're growing people. We're not just growing the team. Where I see and even other teams have noted to me, and even in public forum, how certain people like Connie and Ashley and some of these other people who they saw struggling at one point are now in somewhat leadership roles in a very short period of time. We are intentional about time, Mark. We don't believe in we believe in a 12-week year. We got 4 years every calendar to grow. 4 years worth of growth in every calendar year that the rest of the world uses. So every month, every week is like a month. And so literally people grow leaps and bounds in 2 or 3 weeks here in the Avengers because of how intentional we are with time. Every day is like a week. And every week is like a month. And every 3 months is like, every 4 weeks is like 4 months. And so that's kind of how we do our thing. And that's why we truly subscribe to the 12-week year. We're living it. We're implementing.
That's so strong.
That's where the growth comes from.
That's so strong. I love it. Again, you're 100% mindset. I mean, I could see, like, it's it's super evident why, people are growing around you, and you have a team that's excited and willing to do what it takes for the team, to do what it takes for them and their family. When you look at your group, and you think of telesales / field, what is the percentage of the makeup of your group currently?
85-15 telesales.
Got it.
85-15, and the 15 are hybrids. They're not even full field. They're field because they still have strengths there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that's probably where we're gonna stay.
Yeah.
Because I'm also big on people, as I said earlier, staying in their strength lane. I don't want people to move just for the sake of moving. If they're really good at what they do, why mess it up? I'm with Sean on that. Like, leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't force things on people that don't need to be forced on. Now, I know the industry is moving this way, and that's why we're pivoting, but it doesn't mean that like everybody at the same time has to do it. Yes, at some point they may have to implement it, but for the most part, I leave people alone. If they're doing what they need to do, if they're hitting their numbers, they're getting their goals, and they're happy. Let's not forget happy. When you're happy, you work better. You work harder, you work more consistent. When you're unhappy, now you have challenges as a leader. And so I want to keep people in their happy space mentally. If I can keep them happy, they're not feeling like they're going to work. They're just living their lives. And so that's a very, under spoken about point in this business period that I try to keep at the forefront. Are you happy? What can I do to make you more excited and enthusiastic about what you're doing? And if that means being in the field and it means, running those appointments and doing dial days like how the company was built, so be it. I'm good.
I love it, brother. We are coming up on the closure of 2022, headed into 2023. What is on the horizon for the Avengers? Give a message to your team on closing the year strong and punching into 2023 strong.
I asked you this, Mark, several months back, and I asked you point blank, what is your take on November and December production? And you laughed, as your signature laugh is, and you said, I've seen it both ways. I've seen some folks really, really finish strong and plow into the new year. And then I've also seen folks that dial it back and give in to the mindset of laziness, basically. And so that's all I need to hear from you, is that there are teams that do well, or in somebody, and you even said had their best months, November, December in particular. So of course, that's where I decided I was going to latch on to and leave the rest for anybody else. But I'm intentional. And even today, we had a Zoom today, and we talked about mindset of Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I told the guys and ladies that you must be proud of what you do, broadcast what you do, and get excited about having more people to talk to. Because what are people doing during the holiday? They're congregating. You're going to have them all in one room, even in your own home.
No.
They better all know what you do. And you need to have, so I talked about conversation starters. A lot of agents are afraid to start that uncomfortable, so they think, conversation that is necessary to have with all these folks, family, friends, and what have you. And so we talked about really delving into that during these holidays and making it, embracing it as a time of abundance versus a time of, all right, let me scale back. Nobody wants to talk to me until January anyway. So no. That's in your mind.
That's awesome.
So it's about mindset, even more so these 2 months. So it's about starting 2023 now. Your actions today will affect January 1st's production and momentum. So if you want to be dead until February, March of next year, then go ahead and chill out right now. If you want to have major momentum going into convention and be excited rolling into convention, then you better be working now. And these days are going to truly decide on what your January 1st looks like. And so that's the message that was given today. It's going to continue to be given because it's important for them to really, really start to see themselves where they need to be. Plus, I have several guys, and this was purposeful. I have several guys that are looking to make logo by December 31st.
Love it.
So see, they're already on that track of like, they got to bust their butt because they know that what they have to get to. A lot of folks don't have real goals. They really don't. They talk about what they want to get to and this and that, but tangible goals changes your thought process and your work ethic. And so I think that we're not going to have as much trouble with some groups because we have certain things in place like that to incentivize them. We also have a civil war. I'm doing a civil war campaign. What is that? That's 30 agents, 30 agents that are going head to head with all kind of prizes and awards given to the winner with minimum requirements, certain production and what have you. But basically they got a head to head person. They're looking somebody head to head. And that's how we got the first Civil War is how we got the SVP. That's how we had our best month. The people were competing against each other inside the team. Fun, of course, but we really made a big deal of it. And so we're doing a second one this month. And so we hope that continues that same momentum that we gathered from the last couple of months. And so we just have fun with it, man. It's about having fun. It's about enjoying, the process. And I told them, enjoy the journey. And as far as overall for the Avengers for 2023, it's integrity. It's that simple. We're going to be in integrity. We're going to be, multiple million a month agency. I'm going to be a logo factory. My job is to create logos. I want my logo hallway to look like yours, bro. And I want it to be, fast and intentional. And, we're a logo factory. Our job is to, we bring in people with the understanding in 90 days, get a logo. Like I did it in 90. You could do it faster or in the same amount of time or around that time. If you're intentional and you follow these, again, you got to be coachable and follow these, this blueprint. And so I just want logo after logo after logo because that means you're a business. That's when FFL says, okay, you're legit. We're going to give you reports. We're going to give you actual identity. You don't have an identity until you're SSM, senior sales manager. So my job is to bring someone's quote unquote nobodies and create identities for them so they can be known, they can be seen, they can be heard from and have a sense of purpose in this business that they should be coming in with. We just tangibilize it for them through the logos. I'm not saying they don't have purposes without it, but it just gives them a tangible demonstration of what their purpose is. And those logos should represent the essence of what they are, like the Avengers does for me. And so just like Serve the People does for you.
No doubt.
And so that's, what we're into for next year. We're going to be an integrity partner because we're going to create a whole bunch of logos, a lot of legs, a lot of writing, a lot of width rather. And then of course, as we continue to evolve, we'll keep building on those $100,000 100 family organizations and create depth. But right now it's all about width, bro. I just got to get people in here who want to build businesses And again, I have a profile and I'm intentional. And if they don't fit that profile, they're not fit for us right now.
Dude, you're a beast, bro. I love it. Your energy is super contagious. You are a trendsetter. You guys have momentum. You're driving the momentum, so it's not like it's going anywhere. I'm excited for the end of the year. I'm excited for the new year for you guys. You're absolutely cold crushing it. Appreciate you sharing today.
Man. So are you, man.
Thank you so much for all you do, brother. You are crushing it, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And look, man, I look forward to seeing you next month at the holiday affair. I'm excited about. I missed it last year because I was not quite ready to make that move. So I'm excited about being here this year. I heard it's big and bad. It's going to be bigger and better this year. So I look forward to being there and enjoy that with you.
Love it, man. Thank you all for listening. Bernard Borges, Senior Vice President of FFL Avengers, complete beast. Thank you so much, my brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Have a blessed one.